Hello and welcome to the live stream. Just grabbing a cuppa. Julius is timing me again. How are we all doing, everybody? Just getting a cup of tea. Hope you're all well. Apologies for a few minutes late. I hope people can understand that I've got a family life as well, and I've got a child and everything to get ready for bed and dogs to walk. So thank you for being patient with me. Right, so what we're going to do some curious news. But before we do anything else, I'm just going to do a couple of sound checks. So let me just check the audio. Let me know if it sounds okay. And if it is, I'll continue. Thank you, Maria, for the email and for joining the membership. Hi, Nick D. How you doing? Right, let me just get into the stream on my phone so I can see the chat properly. Sounds good this end. Brilliant. Is it loud enough, or do you want it a little bit louder? Because I've moved the microphone, you see, so it might need a little bit more gain. I don't know. Hello, everyone. Brum Vixen. Thank you. Welcome to the members. I appreciate you guys for joining the membership. So tonight we're going to be focused on 2 stories. Okay. Sounds perfect. Brilliant. Thank you. 5x5, Grumpy, Hoppers. Hi, everyone. 17 watching. Let a few more people come in. So we've got 12 likes. Thank you very much. Hit the like if you enjoy the content. Just lets me know what people like. Nick D's here. Hello, Nick. How you doing? All right. I'm glad the sound is good. Hopefully you won't hear the keyboard. I know that Lucy likes it, but I think it annoys me when I listen back. So we've got Lee, Space Cat, Yvonne, Lily Bell, Terry Knowles Band again, Grumpy, Lovely Jubbly, Susan, Lily, I've said Lily, Alinda, Texas, Hopper Stoppers, Nick D, Brum Vixen, Non-Texas on your back. I always get that wrong. Julius is here. Alan Edge, my YouTube husband, Elon Musk. Thank you for your email the other day as well. Appreciate that. It's obviously not the real one. And Maria for joining. Marie. Right. Lee's here as well. And Space Cat and Yvonne. Right. So there's a couple of stories that I want to cover mostly tonight. There's 2 I'm going to focus on. And the first one, when we get into it, if you guys want me to, we'll go deeper, because I think it's a show on its own. But I just want to see what people think of this. And the first one is there is new rumours due to a declassified CIA document that they found Noah's Ark. Just to let you know as well, just quickly, according to the news, they're saying that Elon Musk hasn't left the government and it was all a lie. You're hearing the breaking news today that Elon Musk has left the US government and he's fell out with Trump. Caroline Levitt, who is the spokesperson at the White House, has just come out and said it's utter tosh. So that's just breaking news there, just for people that are interested in politics. Not the right channel, but, you know, just to let you know. Okay, so now there's been a lot of talk this week about them finding the Ark. So I'm just going to grab this article up and then we'll go through it. Now, I had a little bit of time before the stream to do some research. Not a lot, though. Not as much as I would have liked. But I did find the CIA documents. Hi, Carlos. Hi, AI. Hi, Tone. Just saw the news myself. Yeah, I don't know what to think of it anymore. You know what? YouTube are definitely messing up, you know, because it says here there's 22 watching, but there's a lot about that talking. 27 now. And usually, yeah, not Noah's Ark, the Ark of the Convent. There's rumours on both. It's hard to believe what to know, isn't it? It's hard to know what to believe. Indiana Jones and the Ark. Now, when I was younger, I didn't realise that this was actually real, but it is. It really is real. Whether you believe it, I don't know. Yeah, not Noah's Ark, sorry, but there are. Well, the Ark of the Convent. Now, the declassified documents, I've managed to find a few of them. Right. Just the usual little red dot. Really, Lee? They're just messing with the channel. Yeah, the convent. Sorry, I can't say it. Covenant. Is that the right word? So this has just come out in the last few days, and I really wanted to talk about it. So some new declassified documents that I've actually found say that the CIA were using remote viewers. This was in the 80s, I think, but we'll check it out in a moment. And that the remote viewer, hi Amethyst, darling, guys, let me know if you find this sort of stuff interesting like I do, because obviously we can always do a deeper dive separately. Have you seen Indiana Jones? Now, they're saying the CIA document, and we're going to look at it soon, says CIA remote viewer number 32, I'm surprised it's not 33, ended up finding the Ark of the Covenant. Is that right? Even though it wasn't the intended target. So, here it now. This is apparently a replica. Now, they're saying that they've created an exact replica of the Ark. Oh, good, Amethyst. Amethyst enjoys it. Hang on. Let me get into the chat. Amethyst loves all this stuff. Brilliant. Is that you in the picture? Oh, you're gorgeous. I love your hair. Space Cat's here. I get mixed up with the two arcs, but there was, when I was looking at this, there was other stuff as well about the Noah's Ark, but we'll talk about that on a different stream. Right, okay. Contract. See, I didn't know that. You see, the thing is, when I was looking at stories for my Curious News stream, this kept popping up. So I'm going to spend a bit more time on 2 stories tonight and just a couple of little stories at the end. It's like watching The Golden Child. Oh, The Golden Child's one of the best films ever. So this is apparently they've remade it literally down to a T. So the mystical Ark of the Covenant, which is again in Raiders of the Lost Ark, the movie, believed to be lost, may have been found, according to declassified CIA documents. Hi, Yvonne, darling. The thing is as well, when people, they're saying that the 10 Commandments were found in the Ark. I forgot what I was going to say. I'm reading the chat. I'm going to stop reading the chat because it's distracting me. It's not your fault. You guys carry on, but I'm going to stop reading it for a minute, okay? So these declassified documents, there's been so much talk about the JFK files that things like this are getting missed. So the intelligence agency claims that the artifact may have been located by a psychic decades ago in the Middle East as part of its experimental secret projects in the 1980s. So let me just link this article for those of you that might want to go and look at it. I'm just going to make it big as well, I think, because you guys can read it better then. Try and do it so you guys can read the screen as well. So hopefully that's a bit better for you. Let me know if you want me to zoom in a bit more. The agency conducted experiments as part of the secret Project Sunstreak with assets, so people, using remote viewing, aka extrasensory perception. You guys know what remote viewing is, otherwise you wouldn't be in here, would you really? To find mysterious and sacred objects. In a particular remote viewing session dated December the 5th, 1988, I was 8 then, how old were you lot, if you were born? Remote viewer number 32 ended up finding the artifact, even though it wasn't the intended target. And people think that this is all a conspiracy, right? No, I need to make it a bit smaller. Okay. This is real. It's being declassified. Let me just check that that's really Danny. Why hasn't he got a spanner? Penny thinks we are geeks. Why not? We're all geeks. How you doing, Danny? In 1980, Jim Dandy was 40. So it says here, the intelligence agency claims that the artifacts may have been located in the Middle East. The agency conducted experiments as part of Project Sunstreak. And it wasn't the intended target. The psychic described a location in the Middle East. I've checked, but you wouldn't believe, Danny, how many people get cloned and come in these chats. It's ridiculous. So I have to check. I don't know why you didn't have a spanner, though. I haven't touched your spanner. So the psychic described a location in the Middle East that they claimed housed the object and said it was being protected by entities. The target is in a container. Now, it would be protected by either some sort of cult of monks or something, or of, you can imagine, can't you, if there was humans protecting it, there would be, what would they be called now? Like sacred, who are just destined to look after it, and you get like generation after generation. You hear about it in other things, don't you? Al was talking about it earlier, about something in Ethiopia, but we'll get onto that another time. And that there's these really like highly skilled and trained Christians looking after something, but that's another day. So the target is fashioned of wood. This is what the reviewer said. Hi, Dan, or Marco, as we know you are now. Hi, Larry. Julius, have you seen Raiders of the Lost Ark? Surely you've seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones. Everyone's seen that. Hi, Jersey Dolphins. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's weird because this isn't in the JFK files. You've not seen Indiana Jones? Gosh, maybe we could do a movie night on another channel, maybe at some point, and then we could watch it together. Okay, well, Raiders of the Lost Ark is the best Indiana Jones movie, and I think it's the second one. Temple of Doom's the first one, isn't it? You need to watch it. You need to watch that movie. Obviously, it's Hollywood, so it's going to be, but it is the best. Isn't that the second one? Hi, Candice. I'm just drinking my cuppa. About 84. Oh, I don't know what year it was. So it goes on. The target is a container in a container. This container has another container inside of it. It is fashioned of wood, gold, and silver, and it's decorated with a 6-winged angel. The document reads. Now, I've got the document, so we can have a look at it in a bit, but obviously some of these documents, that you can't read them very well. The target is protected by entities and can only be opened by those who are authorized to do so. This container cannot be opened until the time is deemed correct. So for those of you that haven't seen the film, this ark has apparently got the 10 Commandments in it. And we know what the 10 Commandments are, they're in the Bible. And it was protected. It's a bit like the Holy Grail. Nobody can find it. And if you do find it, you can't touch it and all this other stuff. And there's all like entities coming out of it. It's a really intriguing thing. No, it's not a time capsule. I'll tell you what we'll do. We'll talk about this. And then before we go on to the next story that I want to cover in depth today, we'll just look at what the ark is. Okay. And then if you guys are interested, what I will do, I will go in depth into these. I'll get AI, Al, to help me with AI, read the articles, not the articles, the CIA declassified documents. We'll sit through and we'll get them to read it out for us, the AI, because there's a lot of stuff in there. But these declassified documents, I'm not joking, I had a right game. Al can confirm getting them. They just kept saying link wasn't valid. Then it said I was blocked. I went on to DuckDuckGo. I changed my VPN to in the US, as I always use a VPN, and I changed my IP several times a day because of obviously hackers and stuff. And I eventually got into it. It did not want to let me in. Hi, Alejandro. Alejandro, how you doing? Let me know if you got a notification, because I'm having so many issues with both of my channels. I didn't realize this one was that bad, to be honest. So do you know what? When I go into my live streams and I go into my avatar, there's no red circle around my avatar, which you should get. It's weird. Really weird. So annoying. I didn't get a notice. Download the internet worth. I didn't. Radioactive as well. Yeah, well, that's what Al was talking about. So I'd like, maybe you can come and explain it after what he was telling me, because it was so interesting. Anyway, I'm going to stop reading chat again because I get distracted. Timmy's Pipco. I know it's so annoying, isn't it? I'm really sorry about that. But they are messing with my channels big time now. Don't know why. It's weird. Okay, so this is about the Ark. I'm guessing if you're coming in, if you haven't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark, Indiana Jones, I recommend you watch it. I didn't know there was anybody on the face of the earth that hadn't watched it, but apparently Julius hasn't watched it. Where have you been? Is there anybody else that hasn't seen Raiders of the Lost Ark? Or was it just Julius? Let me know. They are Timmy's Pipco. Okay, so the target is protected by entities. So if you're just joining us, there's been a recently unearthed CIA document, and in there, they're saying that they were remote. I've never seen it either. Oh my God. And Alejandro and Linda, oh my goodness, guys, you need to see it. Let me see if I can download it and we can do a group watch. We used to do that years ago with the films. We used to do movies, so we could look at that. But anyway, Amethyst hasn't seen it either. Blimey. So this ark is apparently got the 10 Commandments in it, and it's hidden somewhere, like the Holy Grail. It's like people believe it's real, but no one can ever find it, and nobody knows whether it's just a myth or whether it's real. So the CIA were doing experiments, as we know, in the 1960s, 70s, and 80s. And in the 80s, they were doing remote viewing experiments. Now, remember Stranger Things season 1 with 11? That's what they were doing with her. They were doing experiments, and they ended up doing stuff to give her powers, right? So all this stuff, it isn't. Yeah, we'll do something like that. I'm not going to be on Rumble all the time, though, because you just don't get many people coming over. So, but stuff like that, yeah. We might watch it on a separate channel. I'll make a new channel up and I'll just send the link out to a few of you who want to watch it. So we won't get anybody else coming in. So just you guys who are interested can always contact me and I'll send you the link. We could do that. Anyway, so they were doing remote viewing, trying to find things and testing to see whether remote viewing is real. Again, this sounds like a conspiracy. It sounds like it's just rumor. No, this has been released in declassified CIA documents. This was real, just like the MK Ultra project, Project Mockingbird. That was real as well. It was all real. Monarch, the monarch butterfly. We've covered it before, but we could always do a deep dive in it. That was declassified as well. It's all real, with proof as well. So they were remote viewing, looking for things and trying to see whether it was actual. They could actually remote view. They were like doing tests and stuff. And number 32 found the Ark. Oh, that's good. I have a handle. So I'm going to stop reading the chat now and carry on. So That's where we're at, Timmy. You know, you've only just come in and stuff. What's that, Danny? Project Red Sun. I'll have to look what that is. No, we're doing the next just standalone show will be the crop circles, because Alan Edge has been waiting, but this is like a news show covering a couple of different weird things this week. But yeah, I'll put it on my list. So the target is protected by entities. This is what that remote viewer said, and can only be opened by those who are authorized to do so. This container, now in the movie, if anyone touches the ark, they melt. Okay. So again, when I watched the movie, I didn't know that this was a real story. But if you watch the Raiders of the Lost Ark, Danny, I know you would have watched it. I just know. Hi, Sing Blue Silver. How you doing? You watch Raiders of the Lost Ark, you touch it and you die, right? Okay. So this container will not and cannot be opened until the time is deemed correct. When somebody opens it in the movies, well, all these spirit things come out. Once it is time to open the container, the mechanics of the lock system will be found to be fairly simple, it added. This is what the remote viewer said. As per the Bible, the Ark of the Covenant, a gold-covered crest, was built by the Israelites around 1445 BC. So we're going back before the Bible was written, basically. Shortly after they fled Egypt, the Israelites, with Moses placing the 10 Commandments inside. Now, if everybody, just on a side note, no matter what religion you are, if you follow the 10 Commandments, you're not going to go far wrong in life. But unfortunately, not everybody does, you know. Anyway, that's the word of God. God gives us 10 Commandments and we don't follow it. That's just how I see it. So shortly after they fled Egypt, with Moses placing the 10 Commandments inside, the 10 Commandments are a list of directives given to Moses by God, including rules such as thou shalt not kill and honour thy mother and father. I'm sure you guys know. I know, Timmy, I never win nothing. Oh, I thought you were talking about me on Westies. I never win anything. We know who Dan is now. I knew he was somebody, you know, not a new person. I don't know what that is, that video. I'm presuming it's got nothing to do with it. I don't know. The Ark of the Covenant has been a prominent item in popular, I'm shrinking my cuppa, in popular culture, as well as with globe-trotting adventurer archaeologist Indiana Jones attempting to uncover the artifact in Steven Spielberg's Oscar-winning movie Raiders of the Lost Ark. Now, I can't see what AI's just put, but when I'm done this, I'd like him to pop in and tell me what you was talk about what you were just telling me about them Ethiopian thing, because there's rumours that it's in Ethiopia. So everyone's waiting for this announcement from Trump, by the way. But obviously, I'm not going to switch to that because I'm doing this. But just to let you know, there is what he says, I'll quickly relay it to you. Okay. So it was in the movie, and I know a lot of you believe this, because I do, that Hollywood tells us things. They try to tell us, they try to tell us in movies little bits of truth. I don't know if you guys believe that, but I do, and I know a lot of you do. There's always little snippets, and when you're a kid, you don't know that, but there are. Like, look at Stranger Things. I know it's not a movie, but it's a TV show. They're talking about MK Ultra. There's so many movies out there that touch upon things. It's like they're trying to tell us through the TV, but with that, like, not switched on, we don't notice it. AI, if you're still there, could you just, Oscar's run out of hay, sorry, and he's there, it is looking at me. Yeah, you couldn't make it up, could you, Amethyst? Spot on there. This is true, Pen, says Space Cat. Yep, most definitely. So I'm just reading through the chat. Let's get some comments up. They're telling us. So when we were watching Indiana Jones all those years ago, well, those people who've watched it anyway, I think I'm a good person. Yeah, you couldn't make it up. See, a lot of you agree. Look, The Simpsons. Well, The Simpsons is just another one, yeah. But in The Simpsons, that is hello, Hawkeye. They shall not sleep. That was one of the sleeping tablets. So going back to, I'm getting distracted again by chat. So I just wanted to show you people that were just talking about that actual thing. Yeah, Al's going to come in a minute. I'm going to get him to tell us about this thing that he was talking about earlier. So it goes on, okay? Now, again, they do tell us in movies, but with The Simpsons, we know that now. That it's not exactly like doing it subliminally, like it was once years ago, but with movies, it's more subliminal. And if you watch a movie, a Hollywood movie, you will start to notice the 33 is always there. It could be an apartment number that somebody walks past. It could be on an office window. It could be on the wall. It's always there. And the 332. And when you start to look for it, you will notice that every single big movie has got these little symbols in. Anyway, little nods to their stuff. Anyway, social media reacts. As the news went viral, the majority of social media users poked fun at the CIA for using a psychic to discover the artifact, while some agreed with the claims. It's been well known for decades it's potentially been in Ethiopia since King Solomon, or it's in a cave underneath Jerusalem, where Jeremiah hid it there, said one user, while another added, I talked to Indiana Jones about it, and he said he found it. True story. So there's obviously idiots on the internet, right? A third commented, what? Surely it's not April the 1st yet. Perhaps this item was wrongly included. So this came out before April the 1st. So I'm not pranking you. Okay. So, yeah. So they're saying here, look, what's been declassified so far. This is what people are saying on the internet, obviously. Stupid people. So notably, there is no credible scientific evidence that remote viewing exists, and it is generally regarded as pseudoscience. You see, I don't believe that. Now, the thing is, right, the CIA were doing it themselves, right? So, you know, when they say, oh, well, it's not real, and why would the CIA, is that DJ Rockford? Hi, DJ. Why would the CIA be doing that? They wouldn't. So, genuinely, I believe it's real. So, hang on a minute. That's why they also are saying that Noah's Ark's been found. Just bear with me a sec. So that's a separate story I'm going to cover tonight. Let me just get out of that a sec. Right. Now, I've found some documents relating to this CIA. So let me just grab them up. Just bear with me a sec. Just see whether this article in the Daily Mail of all places. Let me just see if they've got anything different to what we've just talked about. Right, so that's about Noah's Ark. Right. Let me just find these documents. Just bear with me a sec, please. How are we all doing anyway? Right, so that's Noah's Ark. Wrong one. Right. Okay, so I found the declassified document of this project Sunstreak. Let me just grab this up. How are we all doing? 51 watching. Hi, Mr. Steve. Hi, Dan. Share screen. Hang on a minute. Just hold on a sec. Sorry. Right, so sorry about this. I'm just emailing this to myself because there was like 3 documents that I wanted to show you. So why hasn't it gone through? This is what happens when you go live rushing, because I was doing stuff. It's been a bit of a manic evening, Al can tell you. Right, okay, I'm just waiting for this article to, this document to come through. So I've also found a document relating to Noah's Ark. They've also saying they've found that in Turkey, but obviously we're going to stick to one ark at a time. Now, President Trump has just come out and he's going to reveal all the tariffs. Hi, Gina. Hi, Daz. Hi, Kung Fu. Do you want to know what he's saying? Do you want me to switch to that quickly? Thank you for being patient, Timmy. I've just been and done a massive clean in the garden with Alan stuff. So, thank you, Steve. So I've been and cleaned out the bird bath, disinfected them all and stuff. So I've been really busy with the wildlife and just treating the hedgehogs for mites and stuff. So that's why I was running a bit late, and then obviously getting Jack ready for bed. So apologies for that. Right, I'm ready to go now. Do you want me to, guys? Do you want me to switch to Trump or not? He's live now. Are you interested in him talking about that? He's making a major announcement, or do you want me to just carry on? I'll carry on unless anybody asks. All right. I just don't want you all buggering off, and then I could just play it here. Right, so. Okay, so this is this project Sunstreak that we've got up now. It's really interesting stuff, you know. It really is. Carry on, okay. Yeah, you can watch that after, can't you? Right. So this is the declassified CIA document that everyone is talking about in the news and on social media. So this was a night. I'm not joking, right? I'm not exaggerating this. This was an absolute nightmare to find. And then they wouldn't let me download it. So this is the actual document, guys. Let me just put it on big screen so you can see it better. Okay. I've got a bad feeling about all this with Trump, you know. It's been a bit too far now, isn't it? Okay, so this report, again, this is Project Sunstreak. There's still a little bit covered out. The 5th of December, 1988. And this was approved for release in 2000. So apparently it was been released a good while ago. But for some reason, it's just been found. I don't know why. It must have been released and then just dumped somewhere. Just Sunstreak, isn't that the hypersonic missile program? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, actually. Timmy's Pipcoat, are you a Brummie as well? Did you just say you support Birmingham? I'm a Villa fan. If you are a Brummie, I didn't know if you knew I was a Brummie. I haven't been there for years, but I'm a Brummie born and bred. Okay. Warning notice, intelligence sources and methods involved. This is highly classified document, guys. So methodology cry, stage 4. So this is basically, they've gone quite far with this. And it says here, viewer identified number 32, data report the 5th of December 88. And the time it started, 9:15 in the morning, and it ended at 11:45. Brummy, Penny, but City. I thought so. It's one or the other, isn't it? Did you know I was a Brummy? I don't know whether you do. I don't know, because my accent comes out now and again. So access and describe the target identified, and they've got this coordinate, whatever that means. And then it says viewer tasking, see mission statement. To be honest with you, I've stopped following football since I took the knee. Let me know, guys. Can you see this okay? I'm trying to zoom in, but then you're losing some of it. So viewer number 32 attained excellent sight contact. So they were doing these tests. Now, when it says there's no evidence that, oh, really, Timmy? Oh, thanks, Amethyst, because you guys can see it good. Okay. Now, when that article just read, I don't like looking at the articles. I like going to the source. It's okay me reading what it says in the article, but I want to get the actual source material because they're just going to pick bits out. Now, that article said, as you know, that there's no evidence that remote viewing is real. That's not true, right? The CIA did it and proved it. They didn't just look for arcs and other things. Oh, really? Lovely jubbly. I'm a red circle now, apparently. I don't see that yet. If you're watching on the replay, pick up the replay crew. I apologise for the lack of notification. A lot of people contacting me asking me why I didn't send notifications out. Unfortunately, I can't help it. So now when they were looking for things, they didn't just start off looking at big things. They started off just testing. So they would like hold cards up and, you know, they'd have to try and remote view what the other person was holding up or what the other person was doing and stuff. There was baseline tests done before they then started doing more, you know, elaborate stuff. So it goes on that viewer number 32 attained excellent sight contact. So it's picked stuff up, doing very well with stage 4 structure. Viewer also exhibits the ability to keep AOL to a minimum. What's AOL? To a minimum. Have to be careful with editing though. This does not seem to be a problem at this time, just something to watch for. Keep AOL to a minimum. Can anyone have a quick Google of that? Yeah, this is the CIA document, Julius, that the article was referring to. This is a declassified CIA document. This is the remote viewer who actually found, maybe, I think DJ Rockford might have it. Let me just get that comment up on the screen, if it will let me. Hold on. Where are we now? Area of luminosity. I think you're right. What do we all think that's right? I think so. I agree, 100% confirmed. Remote viewing is absolutely real. Like with everything else, there are those who pretend, but for genuine remote viewers, it's 100% real. I think we're all capable of it. And I've said this many times. I think we are all capable of telekinesis and telepathy and all these things, but we are literally dumbed down from children to not think for themselves or to not to like forget things that we already know, which is why they say that children are psychic, because the children, when you're born, you're like a sponge, and if you're going to be fed lots and lots of whatever they ask you to be fed, what your parents, their parents, and generation after generation been fed, you forget stuff. And I genuinely believe that we all have the ability. It's just if you can control it. And I know it's not easy, but we all have those weird things. I do, where I know someone's going to ring, like Space Cat can confirm I've done psychic stuff as well. Yeah, well, we can do it. We can do calling on stuff like this as well. So I don't know what this is here. It says here, handle via Skeet channels only. Can anyone Google Skeet channels only? Thank you, Space Cat. You can confirm. I do it, don't I? I don't know how. I don't know what that says there. Look, it looks like, is that DEC? Don't know. Anyway, it's been declassified. Okay, and it was this was approved for release in 2000 on the 8th of the 8th. 2000. Hi, Glasgow Dave. How you doing? Good to see you, mate. Talking about remote viewing now of the Ark. So, okay, so this is exactly what it says. We know some of this, but I'm just going to read it. Hi, Kaz, darling. Word for word. Target is a container. It is a container. This container has another container. We've heard this before. The target is similar in shape to AOL. Yeah, it's true. I do it all the time, don't I? I don't know how, but I do the psychic thing. Now, this was left out of the article. Do you see why I like to go to the source? That wasn't in the article. Now, the area of luminosity, it can't mean that, because it says the target is similar in shape to a coffin. Oh, hang on. Let's just say it right. The target is similar in shape to the area of luminosity, a coffin. So it could be that. And is decorated with seraphim. I don't know what that is. And there's a sketch of it. Again, the article left all this out. They pick and choose. The target is located somewhere in the Middle East, as the language spoken by individuals present seemed to be Arabic. Again, this wasn't in there, was it? Visuals of surrounding buildings indicated the presence of mosque domes. Individuals in the area were clothed in virtually all white and had black hair, excuse me, and dark eyes. One figure I homed in on wore a mustache. This is what the actual remote viewer said. The target is hidden underground, dark and wet, where all aspects of the location of the target. So the whole thing's underground. Everything's underground. Just the Trump thing is just talking about the tariffs, really. The purpose of the target. So let's not forget, they wasn't looking for the Ark. They were just doing some tests. The purpose of the target is to bring a people together. See page 16. Obviously, we'll get to that. It has something to do with ceremony, memory, homage, and resurrection. There is an aspect of spirituality, information, lessons, and historical knowledge far beyond what we now know. The target is protected by entities. And they actually drew this stuff, and can only be opened now by those who are authorized. It cannot be opened until the time is deemed correct. Once it's open, we've read that bit. Individuals opening the container by prying or striking are destroyed by the container's protectors through the use of a power unknown to us. So if you're coming in, this is the Curious News Show. But like I said earlier, we're going to be focusing on 2 stories tonight. We're going to be doing this one. And then we're going to be looking at the Virginia Giuffre, where she's apparently got days to live. That's going to be the other story we're looking at. So there's going to be a couple of stories tonight. I think we should go deeper into this. And I've also we're going to be looking at Noah's Ark in another news show as well. So if you're coming in thinking this isn't a Curious News, it is. I'm just going a little bit deeper. So they're doing like loads of story after story after story. We're just going to focus on a couple of stories tonight and then the little ones after. So now this is where I get annoyed. Well, not annoyed. I get frustrated because I can't read what this is. Right? We've got a up something. Does that say mustache? I don't know. I can't read that. I can read the odd word land. Okay. So voices. I can't read that. Brown. Don't know what that. Smooth, cool voices. Okay. So this is what this person, this number 32, is seeing. Dark, cold, moist, vertical. I think that says. Dark, square. Now, they drew pictures. So it looks like a doorway, maybe, is that? Doorway. So if you're coming in, this is a declassified document, CIA document of the Ark, of the Covenant, as in Raiders of the Lost Ark. And this person remote viewed it, which to me is just nuts. Okay, so they think they're saying that this is the corner of it. Now, you can just imagine the CIA people. They didn't ask this person to go and find the Ark. They didn't ask them. All they said was, let's do some tests and see if this actually works. Can you imagine? And they end up doing that and coming back with this. Crazy. Okay, so we're just having to flick through. There's a digger there, what looks like a digger. This was in 1988, just in case people are coming in and they don't know. Steel, stone, wood, rooms, many rooms. So this went on from 9:15 to 11:15. So it's an hour and a half of remote viewing. I'd love to know who remote viewer number 2 was. Are they still alive? Here we go. Mosque Dome, I spelt mosque wrong, but Mosque Dome windows. They're saying that it's next to a mosque. And here we go. Look, people, mummies, they've put there, mummies. So you imagine they're doing some tests to see whether they can prove remote viewing, and this remote viewer goes off and remote views the Ark. That's just crazy. You know, do you believe in this stuff? Was this person having the CIA on? I don't believe that. I don't believe that this person would just make all this up, especially when they haven't even mentioned the Ark. They haven't said to them. Wonder what JFK thought about this. Well, this was in 88, so he was dead then. This actual one. I have found some other stuff to do with Noah's Ark from the 60s, but again, he was dead. Was it? When did he get shot? Was it 63 he got shot? Really? AI, is that true? Okay, I'm just flicking through, but personal objects. Give or given, is it? Oh, I'm starting to need a wee now. Hold on a sec, guys. I've been drinking tea again. Makes me wee. Looking for anything that's important in here. So they've drew this angel. Well, no, the guard, this bird, but then there's Seradin, but they said that there was a 6-winged angel. Hi, Samby. How are you doing, my love? You okay? We're just looking at, let me just give you a wrench, sweetie. And we're just literally looking at this viral story this week that said that they'd found in a recently, well, was only just recently found, declassified CIA document that they'd found the Ark. So that is the actual, I've come to the end now, that is the actual CIA document there that you've just seen. And I'm chuffed that I found that, because that was a nightmare. I think we could do with doing a separate show on that. I don't know what you guys think, but that was I've spent quite a bit on that, so I'm going to move on to another story now. But it's intriguing, isn't it? Has it been found? Has the Ark been found? And what I'd like to know, and I will be doing some research, what did the CIA do with that information? What did they do? What's that, AI? Hang on. Oh, yeah. Right, we'll have a quick look at that then. Hold on. You know, what did they do with it? Did they do anything? Did they think this is a load of tosh? Well, they obviously thought it was important enough, because they made a document on it. So, you know, they might have all got burnt. Was it all got buried? You said, sorry, what you said? All got buried. Did they actually go? No, you can't. You burn. You can't touch it. If you try and open it and you're not the right person, or it's the wrong time, you will die, basically. I'd love to know. We can look into that. We can look into that, because I would like to know if they did anything. What's this you've just sent me? Is that the Noah's Ark thing, what you've just mentioned? Hi, Maltese. Right, let me just get that article up again. Did you say what you want about reading minds? I hate it when I'm live and I have to find an article and I haven't got planned. I like to have everything planned, but that's interesting what AI's just sent. So let's have a look. It's not coming through. No, I didn't know this. Does anybody else know this? It's going up. Now, I know this isn't curious news, but it's still interesting. So we're going to have a quick gander. This is in the Times of Israel. And it says how Uri Geller convinced the CIA. So AI was right. Newly classified file. This was in 2017. This came out, by the way. Newly classified files says that Uri Geller convinced the CIA that he could read minds. Experiments led to American intelligence to believe in the Israeli psychic powers. Now, I didn't know that. There is no spoon. It's your iPhone that bends. What? So this was recently declassified, apparently. So AI is right. This was the Stargate project. Interesting. They were looking for potential psychic phenomena in military and domestic intelligence. I've always thought that he is some sort of like agent. Do you know what I mean? This is really interesting. This again, I think this could be a separate show all on itself. We could actually look into some declassified CIA documents on their experiments, what they were doing, like MK Ultra, that Sun Street project. That could be another one. That looks intriguing. The whole thing. We could have a look and we could see whether the CIA actually acted on what they found out. But anyway, we're going to move on. Now, the other story I want to cover tonight. Oh, Trump has said he's going to put 20% tariff on everything from the EU. Oh, I hope it pays off for him. I really do. But this could end up putting America into a recession. So I'm gonna have to pop to the loo in a minute, guys. I need a wee. It's because I've had a cup of tea before I went live. It's never good for me. Right, I'm gonna pop to the loo. I'll be back in 1 sec. All right. Just I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. Right. I'm just going to put the news back on because I was right in the background what Trump's doing. Okay, so now I want to talk about the Virginia Giuffre. I can't even say her bloody name. You guys may or may not have heard about her, but we can't say too much on here. Oh, 34% tariffs on China, imports from China, 20% on the EU. US to apply 10% on imports from the UK. So we got 10%. Interesting. If President Trump signs off that island, what's it called? The Cayman Islands or something like that, I'm done with him. Right. She deleted her post. Who did? Who deleted what? Sorry. Oh, did she? Interesting. Interesting. Okay. Chagos, that's it. So anyway, now I find this really interesting. Now, there's a lot of people that say that she's making it up, that she was 17, so she was technically of age. In America, she wasn't, but in the UK, she was. And she just wanted to have her photo taken with the prince. This is I'm just playing devil's advocate here. And she wanted to have her photo taken with the prince, and she had it done, and now she's using it against him. That's what some people are saying. I've always thought that she could have possibly been a what's the word now, working for them, to pretend that it's just a couple of like 17-year-olds and not little kids. A distraction. That's what I've always thought, that she was a distraction, because if you're thinking about these 17-year-old young girls, you're not thinking about the little ones. All right. I've never felt that she was the tip of the tip of the iceberg. And I've always felt that she was sort of gatekeeping for them when there's actually a lot younger. That is what I've always felt. I don't know about you guys, but this is a really intriguing story, and it's had to make it onto the Curious News. Now, we can't talk about. Oh, really, Elsie Lee? We can't talk about the island much. Little St. James, Eggstain, we have to call him. So we've got to be really careful, because PooTube don't like us talking about it, okay? So Eggstain, Prince Andrew, the island, and all that shizness. Now, Virginia Giuffre says that she was trafficked by old Giz Lame, and there was all these things happening and blah, blah, blah. Now, she's now come out and said that she had a car crash and that she's had 4 days to live. Now, apparently, she's now going to be back in court again. So let's just have a quick look at this story, because it's really weird. 5 unanswered questions in mysterious Virginia Giuffre crash drama. So this is from today. From restraining order to dead in 4 days claim. So there is a little video. So let's just... There she is there. This is just bizarre. I just don't know what's...
Virginia Giuffre reportedly made a mistake by posting the claim that she had 4 days to live on.
Right. You don't make a mistake, okay? You don't make a mistake. Again, if you're coming in and you don't know what's going on, this is the really bizarre story of the woman who claimed that she was trafficked by Prince Andrew on Eggstain's Island, and she was going to sue him and all this other stuff. This French girl, Virginia Giuffre, but her name was something else before. And she's saying that she was involved in a car accident or on a school bus hit her or something, and that she's got 4 days to live. And now she's saying that she posted that by mistake. You can't post I'm dying in 4 days by mistake. I think there might have been, this is what I'm saying. I'm just reading the comments. Lovely Jubbly, Mr. Lovely Jubbly, that's your name, because that was your original name. Says, I just wonder if they were trying to bump her off. This is the thing. It's like, if you believe her, then yeah. But if you don't believe her, then no. And I genuinely do believe that when this happened, but I think she is the tip of the tip of the tip. And she is hiding a lot. And they are paying her whatever. This is what I think. It's my opinion, okay? I'm not saying this for definite. It's my opinion. If you're going to be in the news, you're going to have people have an opinion on you. And this is mine. And I think she knows a lot more than she's letting on, but she's gatekeeping for them. Maybe she stopped playing ball and they want rid of her. I don't know. So let's watch this little video here. He did pay her off, yeah. Yeah, very true. But to say that she posted it by mistake.
Instagram, as she intended to post it on her private Facebook page. That's according to her family, who have hit back at police after they raised questions about the crash. The 41-year-old, who was trafficked by billionaire paedophile Jeffrey Epstein, was seen with visible bruises.
She was trafficked, so it's confirmed then, it's not allegedly anymore. Okay, interesting. So she's was he convicted of it though? It was all very grey, wasn't it? Didn't they say if he went back to, if ever Prince Andrew goes back to America, to New York, did they say he could get indicted or something? I don't know.
It's following the smash near her home in Western Australia. She said the impact triggered kidney failure, sparking fears for her life. But police cast serious doubts on the crash, confirming it was minor with no injuries reported. In a statement released to the Mirror, her family said, today, she remains in serious condition while receiving medical care. On March 24th, in rural Western Australia, a school bus hit the car in which she was riding. The police were called but said that there was no one available to come to the scene. What? They asked if anyone was injured and suggested that if they were, they should make their way to the hospital.
What? The police were called but said that there was nobody available to come to the scene. What? Are we talking about this was in the middle of nowhere? Is that what they're saying? That it's literally in the middle of nowhere, which is why there's no police around? Or what? So the police didn't even come out. What's the matter? 2, 3. Yeah. Do you know what? Do 4 and then put 2 in the fridge. I don't know. It's up to you. Sorry, I'm just talking about it does sound like the UK. Talking to Al about dogs. So they asked if anyone was injured and they didn't say no, look. They asked if anyone was injured and suggested that if they were, they should go to hospital. Nowhere in there did they say that there wasn't anybody injured. They said if there was somebody injured, go to hospital.
The statement continued, the school bus driver had a bus full of distraught children and left the scene to get them back, saying he would file a police report, which he did later. Virginia was banged up and bruised and returned home. Virginia's condition worsened.
Let's just read this. So she wrote, this year has been the worst start to a new year, but I won't bore anyone with the details. This is a now deleted post. But I think it is important to note that when a school bus driver comes at you driving 110 kilometers an hour, as we were slowing for a turn, that no matter what your car is made of, it might as well be a tin can. I don't know if it was her driving or somebody else. I've gone into kidney failure. So she said we, so she wasn't alone in the car, right? I've gone into, I suppose if it's in the middle of nowhere though, hi Brunvix and Don, if she's in the middle of nowhere, the police aren't everywhere, are they? It goes on. I've gone into kidney renal failure. They've given me 4 days to live, transferring me to a specialist hospital in urology. I'm ready to go, not until I see my babies one last time. Really weird. But you know what they say about wishes? Poop in one hand and wish in the other. And I guarantee it's still going to be poop at the end of the day. Thank you all for being the wonderful people of the world and for being a great part of my life. God bless you all, Virginia. Now, her family is saying that was meant to be put on a private Facebook post to just like friends and relatives. Now, to me, that last part implies that was meant to be public. Thank you all for being the wonderful people of the world. That is not what you would write to your, couple of family members and friends. That is the sort of thing you'd write in a public post to a lot of people. I don't know about you guys, but I don't believe that was meant to be a private thing. You don't accidentally post something to Instagram and not. There is a way of posting onto Instagram and then also posting on Facebook the same post, but should have been into a private group to go onto Instagram is impossible. Okay. So she meant to put this on Instagram, in my opinion. And this was, from that wording, this was meant to go out to everybody. Let's listen to the rest of it.
Worsened and she was admitted to hospital. Concerning her Instagram post, Virginia thought she had posted on her private Facebook page. Virginia's spokesperson confirmed she was receiving medical care after the incident. Virginia and her husband, Robert, a martial arts instructor, split recently after 22 years of marriage. She now claims to be estranged from her children. Virginia sued Prince Andrew in 2021, claiming she was trafficked and forced to have sex with the Duke on 3 occasions when she was a teen. The royal has always denied the allegations, but settled out of court in 2022, reportedly paying millions to avoid a humiliating trial. Epstein died in jail in 2019 while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges. Maxwell is serving a 20-year sentence for her role in the abuse.
This is just bizarre, isn't it? Up next, I'll see it. What's this? I want to see what this is here.
Cops in Australia have issued a puzzling update after Virginia Giuffre claimed that she had just 4 days to live following a horror bus crash. The 41-year-old mom says she was left with kidney failure after the crash, which happened near Perth last Monday. But police now say the incident was only logged as a minor traffic crash, with no injuries reported. No charges have been brought against either driver, and officers say the crash wasn't even reported until the following day by the bus driver. Damage to the car Giuffre was in is believed to be around $2,000. Police confirmed a 41-year-old woman was a passenger in the vehicle. The crash happened just after 3 p.m. on March 24. Giuffre, who was sex trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein and famously accused Prince Andrew of abusing her when she was 17, posted a bruised selfie from her hospital bed on Instagram. In the caption, she wrote, "They've given me 4 days to live, transferring me to a specialist hospital in Europe."
This is a really, really weird story, isn't it? So there's 5 unanswered questions, they're saying. I just don't know where to begin with this. I thought it was definitely worth covering on this news because it is curious. And like I said, this channel is no longer just about paranormal. It's about anything that's weird and doesn't make any sense. This is weird and it doesn't make any sense. That's why it's on this channel. So she's apparently estranged from her children now. Like, what's that about? That's weird for a mum to be estranged from her children. And so she also split with her husband. Yeah, split with her husband following 22 years of marriage. What are we saying in the chat? If you had 4 days to live, you wouldn't be posting on Instagram. The family would say it. So these are the 5 things that make no sense that they've written here. So in recent years, she'd forged a quiet new life with her family in a 1 million seaside 6-bedroom home in Ocean Reef, Perth, Australia. Living the dream, basically now. But mysteries about her life have now been raised after the mum of 3 accidentally revealed she was close to death. So it was revealed on Wednesday, that's today, I think that's supposed to be this Wednesday, yeah, that a family restraining order had been placed on Virginia Giuffre. This makes no sense. So I'm guessing that's her husband and kids. She had then allegedly broken this restraining order and had been charged by cops on March the 14th, some 10 days before the crash on March the 24th. So 10 days before, she'd already been given a restraining order. None of this was made public at all. The first you heard about it was when she had the crash, but this has all come out today. Virginia had entered a no plea court appearance and was next due to appear in front of a magistrate on April the 9th. So basically what this looks like to me is she knew she was in trouble. So she decided to fake her own, this is just my opinion, fake her own sort of like not death but dying, and then she wouldn't have to be in court on April the 9th. They don't look, well, you'd seen a picture of them just, they covered the faces out. They all look sort of, they don't look like tiny little toddlers, but they all look youngish. So she was due to be in court. So this restraining order was issued 10 days before the mystery crash. And she's supposed to be in court on April the 9th. Now, if she's dying of renal failure, she's not going to be in court, is she? In the weeks before her horrific crash, which apparently wasn't horrific, exactly why the day after Lovely Jubbly, Virginia had appeared to hint at fresh troubles with her family. In a haunting post on March the 22nd, so that was before the crash, but after we now know the restraining order. Good night, Space Cat, my love. My beautiful babies have no clue how much I love them, and they are being poisoned with lies. I miss them so much. I've been through hell and back in my 41 years, but this is incredibly hurting me worse than anything else. Hurt me, abuse me, but don't take my babies. My heart is shattered, and every day that passes, my sadness only deepens. This doesn't make any sense because they don't just get children away from mothers for no reason. And they don't just, I don't know about in Australia. Good night, Space Cat, my darling. God bless. I don't know if we've got any Australians in the chat here. I'm thinking that Brum Vixen. I'm just going to go through the chat, what people are saying in the chat box. Has the husband lamped to one? We have to keep an open mind. This woman has been ex-traffic pretty much since she hit puberty, and yet she's damaged well up in her head. Just my opinion, though. Yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion. I'm 50-50. What else have we got? We've got people saying goodnight to Space Cat. We've got Bobby Simpson coming. It's a blessing for her. Why did the bus driver only report it the next day? Something smells off here. Not just a little bit off, it smells really off. So she'd previously admitted about her family relationships that they had all been affected by her being a victim of sex trafficking. Virginia said of her kids, they see what I've talked about. They have friends that Google my name and say, oh my God, is this your mom? So this restraining order of the family, I'm guessing, is the husband and the children. And then the accident happened. That doesn't make any sense. Well, they're trying to bump her off. Why is the husband turned on her as well? That's weird, isn't it? So riddles over the family breakdown. Virginia's relationship with her family had broken down in the previous few months before the crash. Her injuries looked like burns that have healed a bit. says Jules. Yeah. Or someone's just, battered her. She split from her husband of 2 decades and became estranged from her children, who were placed with Robert Giuffre. So that means that the authorities in Australia have taken her children off her and give them to the husband. I'm sorry, but they don't just do that for no reason. I think we can all agree, can't we? We can all agree that they don't just take children off mums and give them to dad. There might be a custody battle, there might be shared custody, but they've just taken the children away from her and got a restraining order. That doesn't make any sense. The couple previously lived on the Central Coast in Queensland. Is he Australian then, I'm guessing? Why is she in Australia? As well as Florida and Colorado. And she has credited her husband with rescuing her from egg stain. Maybe he trafficked her as well. I don't know, just speculating. But in the wake of their recorded split, it's claimed that Virginia had been struggling due to not being able to see her kids. Oh, really, Bobby? This is so weird. I'm just having a quick look at this here. Yeah, you see, Prince Andrew settled the lawsuit. Again, if you're innocent, you wouldn't do that, would you? Giuffre alleged in court documents that she was procured by Maxwell, the daughter of disgraced tycoon Robert Maxwell, as a teenage sex slave. It's a difficult one. Where is Ghislaine as well? Like, we hear she's in jail. You don't ever hear nothing about her, do you? I don't believe she's in jail. I think she's lived it up somewhere with Eggstein. There is clearly love in the family, with her father saying he felt sick to my stomach following the crash. Right, okay. So her father told the Daily Mail she is in a really bad shape. He professed, this is her dad, right? I feel like crying. I love my daughter more than life. He revealed Virginia had been very depressed recently, adding that he was hoping she can hang on amid her family life struggles, and that her younger brother is trying to get... Where are the family? Get a spirits? Are they in the UK or are they over there? Bombshell police statement says it was a minor crash. Despite Virginia saying she was close to dying, Aussie cops said it hadn't been that serious. It was a minor crash and no injuries were reported. They confirmed a 41-year-old passenger in the car was involved, which happened at 3 p.m. on the March the 24th. Just hold on a sec. Dates stand out to me. So at 3 p.m. on the 3rd month, on the 24th, 3 had 3, 6, 2 had 4 is 6. You got 66 there. Does it mean anything? I don't know. I'm not a numerology. We have people that are really good at that sort of stuff in here. Just stands out, that's all. No charges were brought against the driver, and the incident wasn't reported to cops till the following day. So whose fault was it? They also said damage to the vehicle Giuffre was travelling is believed to be around $2,000. So it's not even like a write-off or anything. Day ahead over there, yeah. Well, I think it's between 10 and like 16 hours, isn't it? It's something like that. Why didn't she or the driver report the crash straight away? And whose fault was it as well? It remains unclear why Virginia did not report the crash right away, especially considering she was injured enough to go to hospital. Virginia's family said the bus driver didn't report the crash as he had to get the kids home, only filing a report later on. Her family had been involved with the police recently. Her husband had been charged. This is weird. Her husband, Robert Giuffre, had also been charged with inadequate storage for guns in February of this year, as well as reckless driving exceeding the speed limit by 27 miles per hour in September last year. He was fined 1,200 Aussie dollars and lost his license for 6 months over reckless driving. Hold on a minute. So they've taken the children off her and given them to a convicted, the dad who's been convicted of not storing his guns correctly and going a lot over the speed limit and reckless driving. What the hell? The posted dead in 4 days claim by mistake, for she posted a bruised selfie from her hospital bed. The survivor told a follower she was being transferred to a specialist hospital, give me 4 days to live. It's important to note that when a school bus driver comes at you at 110 kilometres, and as we were slowing down for a turn, so she's saying it was their fault then. So she's ready to die, but she wants to see her babies. And then it goes on. The family said that she didn't mean to post it on Instagram. If you do a double post on Instagram, because I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook, right? I don't use it much, but I do occasionally. There is an option. You share it, and then you can also share, but you can't do the also share without doing the initial share. It's impossible if you're going to post something on Facebook and you also post it on Instagram, you've still got to do the original Facebook post. And here, that didn't exist. It just appeared on Instagram. So I smell a rat. She was lucky to be diagnosed. My mate was. Blessing, she survived. But the thing is, though, Bobby, your mate, yeah, were they in a car accident? Because isn't this quite an unusual thing to happen in a car accident? Oh, I'm going to sub to you. You've got videos up of your dog. Oh. I think I've seen you around, I think. Right. This is really bizarre. I don't know what you guys think. We're going to be keeping an eye on this. We are going to be keeping an eye because this doesn't make any sense. Like, so look at this, right? In 2015, she files a defamation case against Maxwell, and the case is settled for an undisclosed sum. I didn't know that had happened. I can't believe he's been dead 6 years. That's crazy. Do you remember that interview? Gosh, I remember all this happening. God, it's just gone so quickly. So, yeah, she goes defamation, and then we're at this bit now. There's old Giuffre on the phone, look, to talk radio. Wow, look at that's not the same person. Come on. Come on, guys. Does that look like old Giuffre? Oh, why is it so small? That is not the same person. I said this before. I don't think she's in jail. You're right, though. It doesn't look like bruising from an accident, does it? It looks like someone's decked her and given her a black eye, and it's partly healed. Or is it makeup? So have the hospital confirmed then that she was actually in the hospital, do we know? So we have to keep an eye on this as well. I don't know what's going on. Is she being bumped off? Well, they attempted to bump her off. Is she really dying? Is she making it up? It's very intriguing and very, very, very curious. So, I've just subbed to you. I think I was sub number 28. Right. Okay, we'll do a couple more stories. I've been on for an hour, nearly an hour and a half now. So, like I said, I did say to you at the start. Oh, thank you, Timmy's Pitcoat. You're such a sweetheart. I was going to say, yeah. So this has been a little bit different to the usual Curious News. We usually cover about 10 or 12 stories in one go. But we've done 2 major ones today, and then just a couple of little ones after. Thing is, right, when I was looking at stories earlier, it's hard to know what is real and what is fake, because we had April Fools yesterday, didn't we? Hold on a sec. Are you still hearing the annoying keyboard noise, by the way? Now I've moved them. Let me know. I've moved the microphone onto a separate stand away from the laptop because people were hearing it. So as far as I'm aware, the stories that I'm going to show you are not April Fools, because they came out on the 2nd. Oh, thank you, Amethyst. Yeah, are you guys all right? I usually just whiz through the stories, weird story after weird story, but I focused on 2 and then a couple of little ones. So apparently, right, and again, let me just check the date on this. Right, the 2nd of April, right? So this has to be real, okay? If it was the 1st of April, yeah, the coloring of the blue, it doesn't look very real, does it? I'm glad you're enjoying it, Amethyst, darling. Thank you to Marie again for joining the membership. If you want to join it, you can. The only reason why we've not done our members only live streams is because my little one has been very unwell, but we are going to be out and about. We are going to be going. Let me just put the link in to the memberships. If you want to join, you can. When we're going out and about on the members only live streams, the link will be posted on the Ko-fi app and in the Curious Bunny membership, and you can join us live. Different places. We're going to be going to nature reserves, over to the coast, old churches, just different things. So if you want to join, you can. Anyway, there's the link. We've got quite a few people on it now. Now, apparently there was an earthquake, and this is why I had to double check that this was real. The UK was struck by another earthquake as tourist hotspot feels the brunt of the latest movement. Again, this was on the 2nd of April, so it's not fake. The name Chartist's Cave may not mean much to many Daily Star readers, but the historical landmark was the epicenter of the latest earthquake to strike the country. People don't realise that there are earthquakes happening all the time. You just don't notice them. They're not strong enough. The UK has been struck by another earthquake, bringing the total to 55 this year. That's crazy. It says here, the Daily Star, again, it's a Daily Star, but I do love the Daily Star because it's just an escapism in it, has been reporting on every shaking moment. Again, this is not an April Fool. According to the British Geological Society, the country has been hit by more than 50 so far. Did you put my pizza in the, what's it, please? But do it much less than before, like 2 minutes. I'm going to go in a minute because I'm really hungry now. I've not eaten anything today. Yeah, it goes on. The historical landmark is one of the focal points of, I can't read that, I can't read it, of the Brecon Beacons. So apparently this place, this cave here in Wales and the Brecon Beacons is being hit by these earthquakes. I don't normally eat this late, but it's because I haven't had time. I literally haven't stopped Amethyst all day. The cave known as the Great Hole was used to stockpile weapons in 1839 by the Chartist rebels. There you go. You learn something new every day, don't you? So I don't know. There are earthquakes. Did anybody feel these earthquakes? There's a big hole there. I know Wales is very, very, very rocky and mountainous. So there you go. Now, I remember when I was in Brum, I'm going back a long time ago now, we had one, and the wardrobes were going and everything. It woke me up in the middle of the night. I think it was around 2008-ish. So apparently the first one struck on March 26 in the Celtic and Irish Sea, respectively. So they're happening in the sea, but they're being felt on land in Wales. Interesting. Who knew? Who knew that we were getting earthquakes? Right, let's see what else there is. Any other weird stories for us? Intriguing stories, because we like that. Oh my God, have you heard about these bins in Brum? I was saying this to Al the other day, right? When I lived in Brum, I don't know about now, but we never used to get wheelie bins. We only got black bags. And once a year at Christmas, we'd get given 5 black bags to last us the year. Sometimes we only got like 3. And we were given that, and that was it. There was no wheelie bins. It was just black bags. And the bin men didn't come. You'd have them piled up against people's houses and stuff. Now, I really, really feel sorry for the people of Birmingham, all right? Apparently, there's now 2-foot rats taking over as dirty nappies. Now, I don't think the rats are interested in dirty nappies, but if you're in Birmingham, have you seen one of these 2-foot rats? Let me know. Rats have grown fat eating rubbish during the bin strike in Birmingham. They are now as big as dogs, apparently, with the city's top pest catcher claiming to have seen one just shy of 2 feet long. Yeah, you imported the third world, you get the third world. This is what happens. I don't want to get political. This is not a political channel. This is everything not political. It's just not. But you want a Labour government, you're going to get this. It's exactly what happened in the 70s. Imagine, though, if we got anyone living in this crap, have we got anyone? Let me know if you've got any videos or anything of what you're living like. Is this affecting you? Maybe beavers, says Alan Edge. Oh, God, yeah. It's just sad, isn't it? So apparently the porky pests have grown enormously tubby while gorging on garbage during the city's ongoing bin strike. Will Timms, known as the Rat Man, has been working around the clock trying to keep the beefcake critters at bay. I see it every day, Penny. Are you still in Brum? I remember that one. I'm just reading. We called Smelly Brum. The thing is, right, you get rats. I was talking to Al about this today, actually. There's rats in rural areas, but people say there's city rats and there's country rats. They're all brown rats. They're all one type of rat. But the ones in rural areas live on, insects, berries, and what they can find. The ones in the cities are just eating crap from bins, so they're going to carry more diseases. They're just going to be they're in bins. There's bacteria and all this nastiness, but there's rats everywhere. You go down the river and there's rats at the side of the river, and rats have got a really bad reputation because of the plague, but it's been proven that they weren't the main carriers of it. It does do my head in because I'm not bothered by them rurally. They don't bother me, but in the city, they are living in sewers, they are living in bins. Any animal or human that is eating out of bins is going to carry diseases, just saying. I think it's wrong how everyone hates on rats. They're actually very intelligent animals. But to say that they are 2 foot long, I would like to see proof of this. Let me know, guys. Has anyone seen a 2 foot long rat in Birmingham? And are you living with all this rubbish? Let me know. It's intriguing. I feel sorry for you if you are. Thing is, all my family now have moved out of Birmingham itself. There's a lot around the edges. I'm not sure. I don't know, actually, if there's any sort of around the edges, but they have a Birmingham postcode, some of them, so I don't know, actually. We'll have to look up. We'll have to look it up. Right, I'm going to have a look for some more curious news. There isn't that many because, like I say, we had April Fools. right? Which we like to do an April Fool's show. We usually do it on the 1st so that we can see what's real and what's not. But because it's not April Fool's, I want to keep them all real. Right, there's some really odd ones here. I don't want to talk about some of them because they're too weird. Have we heard about Val Kilmer as well? I think he died suddenly, I think. Michael Jackson's chimpanzee Bubbles is still alive, by the way. He's 42. Don't want to show him because anyone here that knows me knows Lee. You can tell them. How do I feel about monkeys? I'll leave it up to LC to tell you if he's still here. He knows me well enough. Right, I'm just going to see if there's any more UFO news. I'm just checking now. What's this? We've got spooky news. Thank you, babe. I'm going in a sec and have something to eat, folks. And have a kind of there's no Coke, is there? I have to have Fanta. Fanta gives me a headache. I don't know why. Rats are. What does that say? Commercial. Is that what? I can't read that. UK's most haunted house was a witch prison. Apparently, the UK's most haunted house. But couple aren't put off by spooky ghosts. You guys know how much I love spooky stuff, and you guys know I don't get scared. Is that Fanta? Yeah. I'll have to order some Coke because I get a headache. Thank you. Yeah, there we go. Monkeys are going to take over the world. Lee knows me well. He's known me for years. I'm telling you, monkeys and apes and all that shizness, they're evil. They are conspiring against us. We did not come from them. That's all lies. It's just absolute tosh, right? We've got more genetic code closer to guinea pigs than we have to monkeys. And that's truth. You can look it up if you don't believe me. No. Anyway, monkeys are going to take over the world. They are planning and plotting to kill humans. And Planet of the Apes, they were trying to warn us. Like I said earlier, in movies, they tell us things, yeah? I hate monkeys. They're horrible things, evil. From the little ones to the big apes and all the gorillas, all of them. Anyway, enough about that. But Lee knows me very well. So this couple, excuse me, voice is going, have bought the most haunted house, and they say they want to renovate the notorious house on the site of a former medieval prison. Now, how do you guys feel about this? I would like to live there, but I would like to visit there. I love spooky doo stuff. You guys know this. He looks like a midget version of Mark Wahlberg, doesn't he? Do you not think? You know I'm right, Lee. You know it makes sense, mate. They're coming after us. They're coming after us. Be careful of them. And them little ones that you think, oh, they're cute. They're only little midget one. That looks like a midget Mark Wahlberg to me. He's got just little midget features. Weird. Okay, so apparently they're in Britain's most haunted home, right? They're gearing up to give the infamous abode once a medieval prison a makeover. What's that going to do? If you've got ghosts, you've got ghosts. Legend has it the property is stalked by the souls of women who are accused of witchcraft. The house's previous tenant, who lived there from 2004 to 2019, left after alleging he was roughed up by ghostly residents. I think we've covered this house before, you know. She claimed to see eerie apparitions and was shoved to the ground while pregnant. Look, why would you want to live there? However, this creepy history hasn't spooked YouTubers Amy and Jared, whose channel Amy's Crypt boasts more than 300,000 followers. Wow, so YouTubers have bought this up, guys. Oh my goodness, that is so cool. Like I said, I wouldn't like to live there, right? I wouldn't be able to relax, but I would love to visit. If that was me and I could afford that, which obviously they've got money, right, to just buy that, I would buy it and I would rent it out for like spooky weekends or, you know, ghost hunting events and stuff. I suppose if it depended on the size of it, you could actually live there and rent part of it out. Do you know what I mean? Would you guys like to live somewhere like that? Hi, Nicola. Fat Miley Cyrus. Didn't he look like Mark Wahlberg, a midget though? Midget version. Again, I'm not heightist, okay? I'm a midget. Don't feed the birds. I feed the bloody birds. I'm telling you, they cost me a fortune. I'm little, so I can. That does look spooky, doesn't it? Doesn't it look weird? The shape of the house. Oh my. It's got a really weird shape to that house. That brick wall looks new. I think we've covered this house before from the previous tenant. You know, I seem to recall a ghost beating somebody up who was pregnant. Amy, age 35, thinks the 2-bed home known as the Cage in Essex is a gem. I was attracted to the Cage, what a name, initially due to its many paranormal reports. But after visiting, I fell in love with the building, she shared. I'm a paranormal investigator, and what started as a hobby has taken over my entire life. Do you remember Yvette Fielding? She actually bought a haunted house with husband Carl as well. So to own an important piece of paranormal history and have the ability to use it as a home base for investigating, I knew it, and experimenting was really appealing. Our main focus is to restore and save the house for the future. It has unfortunately fallen into a bit of disrepair from sitting empty for so long. So the last person buggered off, right? She went in 2019. It's been sat there all this time for like 4 or 5 years. That's a bit weird, isn't it? Sorry, 5, 6 years. We do hope to make it into a comfortable place where we can stay and investigate ourselves. This is what I'm saying, right? If you're a ghost hunter, you don't want to investigate your own home. Right, that is just wrong. You want to go and investigate places, but come home. Yeah, I can't imagine having to do like a Ouija board and then go to sleep in the same place. Further into the future, we'd love to share the space with other investigators. See what did I just say? I feel the building needs a lot of work before that would be possible. So there you go. Oh my goodness. Look, it's like a chapel. Look. Do you not think he looks like Mark Wahlberg, but younger and midgeter, shorter? I know somebody who lives in a converted chapel, and she said it's really, really creepy. Slim says, I did a Ouija board in my own home. Really? Did anything weird happen? You should join in our phone call. We have phone calls, you know, guys. We have call-in shows, like spooky stories and stuff. We probably do one actually. Hell House. Yeah, I've watched the first Hell House, Peter, and the second one, but I've not watched the newer ones. She says, I've definitely had some experiences within the Cage. How can you call your house the Cage? That I couldn't explain. These have ranged from noises, smells, and object. Do you know what, guys? I've spoke about this before. I've had things moving around the house whilst I've been live years ago. My printer came on and everything. It wasn't even plugged in. It all happened while I was live. I've had this sort of stuff happening, and I don't think my house is haunted, but there's stuff around us all the time. You guys know how much I believe in like entities that are in other realms and other that are running alongside us, but we can't see us. We can't see them. They can't see us, but they interact without, you know, knowing. I think that happens. A lot of you don't believe it. That everyone's got their own opinion. I don't think ghosts are dead people. I think when you're dead, you go back to wherever it is we all come from, wherever that is, if you want to call it heaven or join up into the consciousness. Some people believe in that, if you're a Buddha or whatever. But I don't know. You can go quite deep on this, but I believe that there are other entities existing at the same time in a different sort of like realm. And that's what we see and that's what we hear. And it's like a crossover. I don't believe that dead people hang around. Oh, really, Bobby? Yeah. Yeah, energy, Amethyst. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah, energy. So anyway, so she's saying things are moving around. It's early days. We've now hooked up cameras throughout the house. High cosmic injury case on this Belgian worth live stream. No, we didn't solve the Lucy mystery. We never found out what it was. And again, if anyone knows what that was, might be Dan typing to get his football team to. If anyone knows who was playing the joke of Lucy, because I still think it was someone messing about, please come forward. I don't want to go to my grave not knowing what that was. Just saying. And for those of you that still think it was me, I've proven how many times? By leaving my live stream, muting myself, turning on camera, off camera. That was nothing to do with me. I wouldn't know how to do that. I'm not bloody that technical. Got to have been something to do with Paz. It was coming through when Paz was live. I believe that it's in Paz's house. Some sort of spirit was coming through. Don't think Paz would do that to himself. Really weird. For those of you that don't know what it is, I don't know what to say. We had a voice coming through for 3 years. It's been 3 years it was 3 years on the 5th of March last month. We'll only ever know if when Paz comes back on, if Lucy comes back, then we know it's attached to him. Oh, well, thank you, Timmy's Pipcoat. People know, you know, Paz's energy. I did yeah, Terry Knowles band again. The first time I was in tears. You guys know that. I genuinely was doing the Lord's Prayer and stuff. So hopefully the spirits will accept us and allow us to stick around. I don't know why she's done that weird photo, but it's really hurt my eyes, that. The cage was used as a prison from the 16th century until 1908. Wow, that's a long ass time, isn't it? It's over 200 years. When it became a private residence, sod that. Anyway, I'm going to go now because my pizza's going cold and I've been on for an hour and 50 on Twits. What do you mean? Yeah, Paz. Yeah, Paz. I don't even know where to go with it, really. Like, I just don't know what it was. But a voice would come through chatting away to us and everything. It literally just came through talking to us. And I didn't know what it was. The first time it happened, I didn't. It was just having a conversation coming through the microphone on my laptop and coming through Paz and the other person who was on there. Just cheese. I only want cheese. I got one last night and Al's just warmed up the other bit of it that was left. So I'm going to have this now, watch EastEnders. That's my little highlight of the evening, is watching EastEnders. Yeah, I've not stopped all day. Like I say, I've done a good clean out with the bird baths and everything, and spent a lot of time outside today, clean the windows and stuff. My back is absolute murder. So we'll take this, have this, take some painkillers for my back and some herbal joint stuff that I take to help my joints, and then get ready for bed. Right then, guys, thank you very much for joining me. Again, it's been a bit weird tonight. We've done 2 big stories and a couple of little ones. Let me know if you prefer it that way, or if you prefer the several stories, smaller ones chopped up. I know, I can't help it. I've been watching EastEnders from as long as I can remember, so it's just there now. I know, I can't help it. If we download it, you're not classed as watching it live, by the way, just saying. I will do Timmy's Pipcoat. Bunnies and friends are 5 bunsters and 2 Japanese chins. Right. Thank you so much, Bobby. When you're coming next time, I'll give you a wrench because I've seen you around. I think you're genuine. And you've got content as well. So, right. Okay. I will see you all. I'll probably jump on tomorrow night actually because I think we're going to do crop circles tomorrow night. So if you're interested in more weird stuff, I know I've got to do that, but that's got to be on the other channel, you see, Timmy's Pitcoat. And Alan Edge, Lord Jim Dandy, has been waiting for like 6 months now for me to do this crop circle. So bear with me, all right? I will be doing that though. Take care, Danny. Lots of love. I will be doing it. I just bear with me. So I've got a lot to get through this. Do you know what, Danny? It's so weird because I was thinking about you yesterday and I thought I must text Danny. Remember Luke as well? Nobody else I know what I'm talking about. Do you remember Luke with the black colt? I was thinking about him the other day and he messaged me out the blue. That really was weird. I was just randomly thinking, oh, I wonder how Luke's doing. He's just texted me. So weird. 2 years. It hasn't been 2 years. Come on. Don't do this to me. Sue and Ali with the taxi rank. I don't know what that is. Yeah, it's a nice kid, wasn't he? Still keep in touch with him, but I hadn't heard from him for about 2 years. I'll whack a pizza in the oven, says Lee. Yeah, so tomorrow night we'll be deep diving into like Gina Dunn, we'll be deep diving into crop circles. So if you're into that, join me. I'll probably be going on about 8. I'll try and go on a bit earlier because it's been a bit manic tonight. I don't think I'm going out tomorrow. Don't think. I'll probably pop out with the dogs, but so yeah, okay. And then Friday, got to speak to you. Oh, no. Right, okay. You've got my number, haven't you, Danny? Danny's one of the people, and the few people on YouTube that have met me in real life. And I've known Danny for about 16 years now. That's mad, isn't it? I've known Danny for 16 years, and he's met me in real life, and he can confirm that I am just the same person online and offline. Some weirdos say, oh, look, she's different in real life. Danny, I'm exactly the same. You get what you see with me. It does stick with you. I've missed some of this. Anyway, I'm going to see you all tomorrow for crop circles. If you've got any, they were in EastEnders. I can't remember what we were read now. Right. Are you on WhatsApp? Right. I'll see you tomorrow. Danny, drop me a message. I'm on Telegram, WhatsApp, text. You've got my new number, haven't you? So fascinating, some of those crop circles. Yeah, what we're going to be doing tomorrow, we're going to be looking at crop circles and we're going to be looking at the possible causes for them, right? So we're going to be looking at causes from paranormal causes to human causes and everything in between. And then we're going to do a deep dive and we're going to do a little thing and we're going to do some little votes and decide what people think. And it's just going to be, yeah, deep dive. Anyway, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. God bless. Lots of love. And I'll see you all soon. Bye.